Now, if you're someone who loves the English language or uses the English language, you must have realized by now that the English language is very dynamic. It can be confusing sometimes, especially with several words that are pronounced the same way but have different spelling. And so sometimes, yes, in speaking, they may not be noticeable, but when it comes to writing, and of course, you can't do without writing. A lot of you say, well, I don't need to write, I can use apps, Grammarly, and all that, but you don't want to be totally dependent on all those self help apps. You want to be able to write a good, correct sentence by yourself without the aid of all those apps. Okay, so that is what we're going to be focusing on. By the way, who missed me? I'm sure you guys missed me. Yeah, I missed you too. I've been away for a while. Life has been happening, but we're back and better. Yeah, I say that a lot of times. But guys, I promise to do better this time around, okay? All right, so let's delve into these confusing words and see how we can learn how to use or tell which is which in situations where we need to use them. Okay, the very first words are this and this. Advice, 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 actually. So some people call this advice. I used to call it advice before, but it is advice. They are pronounced the same way. Advice, advice. The stress is on the second syllable. The difference is that for this one is the verb, advise, and then this is the noun, advice. So this sound is what you have at the end of this, while the z sound, remember your voiceless and voiced sounds. You can watch my video here to refresh your memory on that. Okay, so you have advice, advise, advice, advise. Okay, yes, so this is a verb while this is a noun. So using this in a sentence, you could have the IMF, that's the International Monetary Fund, gave a good advice to the federal government. And then using this verb in a sentence, you'd have the International Monetary Fund advised the federal government to stop borrowing. So you see, this is the verb and this is the noun. Very simple, isn't it? Okay, let's move on. Next, breath, breathe. If you're my ardent student, this won't be difficult for you at all because I've talked about this in one of my other videos. Now, this breath is the air you breathe in. And then this breathe is the verb, the action of breathing in and breathing out, inhaling and exhaling. Okay, so this breath is the voiceless sound, and then this breathe is the voiced sound. Okay. Yes, you can, I said it earlier, you can refresh your memory, watch the video and get those juices coming back. Okay, so using this in a sentence, Margaret held her breath when Toye proposed to her. Okay, so breathe in a sentence would be humans breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, so I remember a particular video I saw where a vox pop was being done, and then a particular lady was asked, what do you breathe out as a human being? And then she said carbohydrate. I'm like, okay. Anyways, I'm sure it was just for comic relief, but it really was funny. And I'm sure a lot of people, I feel that a lot of people do not know that what you breathe out, basic science, is carbon dioxide. Okay? CO2. All right, let's move on to the next one. Capital, 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 capital. Yeah, this capital has several meanings. It could mean the uppercase of a letter. It could mean the money to start a business. It could also mean a city where the seat of government is located, while capital is a building where a legislature meets. Areoluwa resides in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. He started his business with a huge capital. Okay, and then you can also use it as uppercase of a letter by saying, please write your name in capital letters, uppercase letters. Okay, and then using this other one in a sentence. I'd like to visit DC to tour the capital. I'd like to visit DC to take a tour of the Capitol building. Okay, I don't mind actually. Next, compliment. Compliment. Now, compliment is something that completes something. For instance, you could say his wife's height complements his perfectly. And then this other compliment is to say something nice. Sarah got a lot of compliment on her new hair. Now let's find out the difference between disinterested and uninterested. Now, disinterested means to be impartial, while uninterested means to be bored or not wanting to be involved in something. So, the contest will be judged by a panel of disinterested judges, while uninterested in a sentence would be Tosin was uninterested in going to the party. It means she doesn't really want to be in the party. And finally, lose and lose. This one, a lot of people confuse them, but I'm hoping that after this class, it will no longer be a problem. Lose, okay? Lose, voiceless. Lose, 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 voiced, okay? Loose is usually an adjective, so it means to not tightly fixed in place or to untie something. Loose, while lose means to be defeated in a contest or to misplace something. Now, using them in a sentence. The dogs were let loose to ward off the intruders. Better to lose honorably than win dishonorably. Okay, I hope that this has been helpful and I hope that you've been able to learn one or two things. I'll see you next time. Please do not forget to watch my other videos right here and right here, and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, I'll see you. Bye.